Hello and welcome to the I Love You Bet podcast. I'm Heather and this is my sister,
Rian. Each week we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us,
sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back at our past to say, I love you, but...
Hey, buddy, it's been a minute.
It has. I mean, for this, yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, well, yes. It's been a minute since we recorded, but also we have spent real time together.
We have, and we're still talking to each other.
It's true. Yeah, I was at the airport and I was like, man, this was annoying and this was annoying. And then I was like, but she's still the funniest person I know. Everybody else is so boring or annoying or like annoying all the times, you know, and all it's like you're just ask, in ways where I'm like, I don't want to live with you.
Am I getting less annoying as we get older or as I'm more medicated, or is it
I think that we just have fundamentally different ways of
functioning in the world.
Yeah, living in our houses specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's fine. I know I'm gross and terrible, so it's fine. This wasn't supposed to be a therapy session.
No, I know. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. It's the same. Like, even when you make me mad, no one makes me laugh as hard as you do. Like, yeah. We're the only people that made each other laugh so hard we peed our pants, so.
You take the good, you take the bad.
It's true.
No, I had peed my pants laughing at Father Hector laughing at Dad.
So. Oh, yeah. No, that was really funny. Yeah.
But he was like, my bladder was very full and I was having issues with my pelvic floor. So, do you want to tell me stuff or you want me to tell you stuff or what do you want to do?
I could tell you. Don't you have to ask me? Like, isn't that the way that?
Yes,
how did you waste time this week?
Ryan, how have you been wasting time in the weeks that we haven't been recording?
Well, my brain can't keep up with weeks, but I can tell you for this week.
Sure.
I have spent way too much time staring and sometimes staring at and sometimes talking to a plastic cup with 6 caterpillars in it. Watching them grow and waiting them to turn into butterflies.
I have no further questions.
Today, I actually said aloud, like, come on, you fat fucks.
Hey, I said that to some squirrels today.
They're so bad. I'm like, there's no food left. Like, you are going to die if you do not turn into chrysalises.
Maybe that's they're like, oh no, it's pretty good here. I don't know if I need to metamorphose. Like,
they are running out of room in the little plastic pee cup. Like, it is a cup the size that you pee in.
Oh.
And they're supposed to attach to the little piece of cheesecloth that's at the top.
Yeah, but there was like an instruction on like day 3 or something. Did you do the instruction on day 3? I put it on the thread.
It's the 3rd day after the last one forms a chrysalis. Then I take them out and put them in the thing. But ain't one of those fuckers started forming a chrysalis. Like the last day or two, because like up until yesterday, they've all been like all over the place, right? Like all over the place.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, they all started like lining up in rows, like they were going to all get to the top of the cup.
Okay, cool.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is new. So we're headed to the top of the cup. And now, like, then I come back and they're all like all over the fucking place. And then I'll come back and they're all lined up again. I'm like,
it's like your kid was ready to come out and then he crawled back up and didn't want to come out. Every living creature around you has arrested development.
Probably.
It's your superpower.
And we're like in the bedroom in their little like butterfly cage because, you know, Elliot. And then I guess I was in the bathroom the other day and Elliot brought them in and we left them in the bathroom and they just seemed to be way more active in the bathroom.
Okay.
And I was like, why are they in the? I was like, they just seemed happier there.
Don't question, son.
This is not your house.
I mean, your bathroom's the most like a rainforest, so.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. It's hot and humid, lots of sunlight. They're happy.
so that's probably the most ridiculous way I wasted some time this week. So
not the most ridiculous way anyone's wasted time. So that's good.
No, it's certainly not the most ridiculous way I've ever wasted time. So how did you waste time this week, Heather Davis?
Well, I'll start with
last week or the week before.
I'll start with some things that I've been watching, since that's kind of the premise of the podcast. I just started watching Dead Boy Detectives, and I'm very excited about it because it seems to feature skinny English boys and spunky girls and the paranormal and queerness.
Check.
And I'm not sure what else. And I'm like, what's going on? It's a Neil Gaiman sort of. So like Death from the Sandman showed up. So that was cool because she's awesome. So I'm looking forward to continuing that. I've been putting off watching Ripley just because I don't think I can handle it. Just like, I know it's going to be really good, but it's a lot.
The other day I asked Elliot. I've been confusing Elliot and Ben's names all day. Sorry. I asked Ben if he had watched The Gentleman. And he goes, is that the one that's like supposed to be like the talented Mr. Ripley? And I was like, no, that's Ripley.
Yeah. That's okay. I think it's funny that you guys don't watch things together.
Wait,
I know. It's fine. It's fine.
The only time we're together, Elliot's there. Like, you want me to watch The Gentleman while Elliot's here?
No, I don't.
Yeah. We used to before we had a kid. We watched things together.
Yeah. I went to the movie theater and I saw Dune 2. And I realized that the way that Dad is going to haunt me is when I go see movies because they make me think of Dad. And I was remembering when I had watched the first new Dune on my own, and then I came in and he was watching it, and I was like, isn't it great? And he was like, yeah, wait for the second one. They're going to ride sandworms. He was so excited. I was like, okay. And then I'm watching the second one and they were riding sandworms. And I was like, oh, Dad would be so happy. Because it looks so much more realistic than all the other ones they've done. But yeah, like, And Angela, I went to her birthday party after and she was like, you got to go see my husband. Because I had just seen Dune. It's like, why? Is he dressed like a sandworm? And she's like, no. And I'm like, hey, I just saw Dune. And he's like, I've seen it twice. I was so excited. And then Angela, he's like, I want Angela to go, but she won't go. And she was like, well, I haven't seen the first one. I was like, okay, well, number one, if you see it at the Draft House, they do a whole like recap before. So you don't have to see the first one. I was like, also, do you understand how sand works and enemies and revenge?
I really don't feel like you need to see the first one.
That's all you need to know. It's like John Wick. Yeah. What guns are, then you understand John Wick. Like if you understand what sand and fighting is, then you're fine. You don't need to worry about Dune. Like it's just big spectacle. It doesn't really matter. And then I don't know if I talked to you about this separately, but I would really like to talk about the remake of Roadhouse. Because as far as I can tell, it's gay porn for straight guys. So it stars Jake Gyllenhaal looking cut as hell.
Yeah.
And basically it's just a bunch of different fight sequences where people aren't necessarily all wearing clothing. Like, sometimes they're wearing clothing, but a lot of the times they're not wearing that much clothing, or like their clothing comes off as part of the thing. And I mean, there's a plot. I don't know. Sure. But it just really felt like this exists for guys who really want to touch other guys.
Wait a minute. Did you watch this movie?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Why?
Yes, I saw some like clips of it and it looked like it had some funny jokes. And did I mention Jake Gyllenhaal?
I also saw clips of this movie and it did not look at all like something I wanted to waste time with.
Okay, well.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal was also in Bubble Boy. Like
a long time ago. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. It's like he was at the same time he was in Donnie Darko, which is like a good movie. Just because he's good, like a good person, doesn't necessarily make it a good, worthwhile movie.
I don't know that he's a good person. I think he's a good actor.
But I mean, like a good actor is what I meant. Like,
I'm pretty sure he's not a good person. But
like sometimes people just want to make money.
Yeah, but I also think, I mean, I think for part of it for him was like the challenge of like that training, right? Of like going through all of the training to be able to do the MMA style, whatever.
So instead of paying to do that training, he got paid to do that training.
I mean, that sounds like a good plan. And, you know, he probably realizes that there's a lot of dudes that want to fuck him that can't deal with the fact that they want to fuck him. And he was like, I'll do one for the fans. And so then he made this movie and it had Conor McGregor in it, who I only know of in theory. He was highly entertaining.
So that's Ewan McGregor's son?
No, he's not Ewan McGregor's son. I'm pretty sure he's an MMA fighter as well.
Wait, was Ewan McGregor's son in a movie recently?
I have no idea. I doubt it. David Tennant's son was. Is that who you're thinking?
I knew that, but then
I feel like Ewan McGregor's children are too young to be Conor McGregor for sure.
Ewan McGregor and David Tennant are probably the same age. How are their children?
I feel like Ewan McGregor waited. I don't know. I mean, when was that scandal with his nanny 20 years ago? I guess, maybe. I don't know. This doesn't matter. You're missing the whole point. First of all, if you were in for a good, mindless, fun, enjoyable, and also if you like the kind of music that people play in bars, I think it very much the soundtrack was like, there was like gospel reggae and country and rock. And it was just like a lot of like actual musicians playing music. I don't necessarily like any of the music that was being played, but if I did like that kind of music, I would have been like, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. And instead I was entertained because they had like, it looked like it wasn't even chicken wire. It looked like it was an actual like metal fence in front of the musicians wrapped around the stage. But chicken wire wasn't going to cut it. At one point, Conor McGregor like ripped the fence and started like messing with one of the musicians. It's ridiculous. Like they drove a boat into the Roadhouse at one point. Like,
okay, here's the thing. To wrap this up, because I don't want to spend any more time talking about this movie. The only way I will ever watch this movie is with you.
Oh, okay.
And more of those gummies.
Does it help that I haven't ever seen the first Roadhouse?
Neither have I.
I think it's entertaining that I haven't. Okay, so then the other way that I wasted time was by going to be on vacation for my birthday with my sister and my nephew. And I learned things. Like, I'm going to save money by not taking your kid to Disney until he learns how to control his eating and energy. And I now know and care way too much about an Australian family of cartoon dogs, aka Bluey.
Welcome. Welcome to the cult. That's another way I wasted time was by looking at all of the photos, wedding photos that were posted from an episode of Bluey as if they were a real goddamn family and people I knew. Like, oh, I'm gonna click on this post and look at every fucking photo. Like they're real people that I know and not cartoon dogs. I was telling our friend Megan today, I was like, we went over there and she also has young children. And I said, have y'all seen the new episodes? Like, have you seen the new episodes of Bluey? She's like, no, but I've heard. Like, I heard we should like watch them alone in a quiet room. I'm like, oh, well, no, not that. Because I guess I don't have feelings like that. Like, I've never cried. Bluey's never made me cry. Like, a lot of people, Bluey's made them cry. But anyways, I was telling you about how you, me, and Ben were watching the new episodes and we kept getting irritated because Elliot was trying to make us play with him.
We're trying to watch this cartoon. And also, when I was babysitting Elliot that last day that I was there, I guess I'll call it that. Whatever. When I was hanging out with Elliot,
with your nephew.
When I was hanging out with my nephew the last day I was there, somehow we like got stuck on Disney, and it had Disney shorts, and it was Mickey Mouse shorts, like old Steamboat Willie and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I want to watch that. I was like, He's like, yes. And so it was kind kind of fun because I've been wanting to show him Looney Tunes and it was very similar. So I enjoyed that. But the second one was like something Tokyo something. And I was like, well, this could be real racist. Let's see how this goes. And it was Mickey trying to get on the subway at rush hour in Tokyo.
But it was like done in like an anime kind of style, right?
It was anime-ish, and it was very, very mid-century. I mean, I don't know when they actually made it.
Yeah, that's new. Those are new.
Okay.
Those are newer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it looked awesome. Like the style was really awesome. And it was funny. Like, I mean, get like really skinny and then, do all the kind of like crazy Looney Tunes stuff that I enjoy. So
it's like they were like, oh, these old ones where they kind of did some of those same things. You're like, these are really racist and terrible. So we're gonna just remake them like this. So
yeah.
Instead of just slapping a warning on them like they do the movies. This movie has racism and cigarette smoking. Like,
oh, P.S. FLASHDANCE has racism and cigarette smoking and nudity and implied sexual violence and
a whole lot of other bullshit that we can't wait to get into.
Yeah, we can't. So it's the third in our series of They Let You Watch That? FLASHDANCE came out in 1983. I was 5 years old. Rian was 2. I don't think she watched it when she was 2.
God only knows.
I remember that the first, I think this was the first record that I bought. I remember buying it. We definitely owned it.
Like on vinyl?
On vinyl, yeah.
We did?
Uh-huh, yep.
I don't. Okay, maybe I do remember it. Okay.
I know we had
Footloose, and yes. I know we had Cyndi Lauper.
Yes,
and Michael Jackson.
I don't know that we had Michael Jackson, but I could have chosen to forget that.
Okay.
So,
all right. So we had this too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have to say that that's good because I think the soundtrack is the best thing about this movie.
Disagree, but I'm glad you like the soundtrack.
Okay.
I remember dancing, sexy clothes, gender play, watching it later. So I own the DVD. This is one of my favorite movies. And I remember how obvious the body doubles are at the end.
Whoa. Time out. This is one of your favorite movies?
Oh, yeah. This is like...
Still?
Yeah. This is like formative. Like, yeah.
No, I understand that. Like, formative is one thing. Still a movie that you watched today and went, yep, still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed sitting here for 110 minutes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Continue.
We can get into it.
Oh, we will. Continue.
So later watching it, realizing how obvious the body doubles are, especially in the final dance scene. Like, well, it's a bad way.
4 people. It took 4 fucking people to film that scene. Okay. The one character, and I'm not talking about the panel of judges. Like, one character, 4 people, one scene.
Also, he's way too old for her.
Yes.
The actors themselves have an 18-year age gap.
How old is she supposed to be?
She's supposed to be 18.
Oh, she's supposed to be 18?
Yeah.
Look at she a welder at 18.
She went to trade school in high school, like normal people in Pittsburgh do. No, if you start asking how no.
Okay.
Like just the number of heels she wears while biking on those hills. No. No. Nobody's getting
biking on those hills. Like, fuck the heels.
Yeah,
like, who's biking on those hills? How was that even a thing?
That was the first thing I wrote when the movie started. Fuck biking those hills.
I wrote, this is a very dramatic intro for a not dramatic movie. And I meant like when the title goes by, like in red, like in giant, like where you can't even read it. Like, what is this, The Godfather?
What is it? She was petting that kitty. That was real cute.
Well, no, and then it got, but it was just literally just the like fucking title sequence was like.
So then there's the inequity in power between them, of course, which I wouldn't have thought about when I was a kid. And then there another thing you realize as you get older is like, what kind of bar? has a production value at this level.
What's this bar's business plan? Like, what is this business model? And how is it making money?
It's like, instead of just having big TVs with sports, they were like, we're gonna let these ladies get up here and do choreography, postmodern.
Yeah, fucking like high concept dances, fully clothed. Like, you're not gonna see any titties.
Nope.
No titties.
It was more like burlesque. Especially because they would have like a big, like, I liked how they would do the silhouette changes. So they would start with like a really big costume and then take that off. And then there'd be like another costume and then take that off. Like, it was very burlesque to me.
It was, but like, it was all fucking men. Like,
it was all dudes.
The men in that audience and the men at the audience at the full nude $5 all day, every day.
Yeah.
Were the same people.
Yes.
So that's why I do not buy that these like working class 1983 Pittsburgh men were like, yeah, I don't get what this dance with the flashing strobe light and the fucking whatever, but I am high class. Like, this is making my brain, you know what? My dick might not be tingling, but my brain is. Like, fuck, like, this is so, like, I am not buying any of this. Like, none of it.
I also don't.
And then it's like
if she's actually a welder, she makes enough money. She doesn't have to do exotic dancing. Like,
it was 1983. We were in a recession.
Still, she was in a
union. No, it's because she was saving money so that she could just go to school and pay for her school and live, right? Yeah.
It's true.
I'm like, you're 18. How long have you been doing this?
The other thing I think about when I think about Flashdance.
You do realize you haven't asked me what I remember about this movie at all.
Because I'm not done.
You're not telling me what you remember. You're telling me what you think about.
The other thing I think about when I think about Flashdance, which is a memory conversation, I think about Elliot. Because as a baby, he would do the Flashdance dance, and you would play the Flashdance song.
I know, but now he hates it. He hates it. We listened to it today. It came on his playlist, and it got halfway through, which was a lot longer than he's gotten. And he's like, I don't like this version.
But he likes the other version, right? The really like passionate one that's like acoustic. I'll try to put that one on Instagram this week if I can find it. Just singing, she's done. Hey Brian, what do you remember about Flashdance from 1980?
He like went, and I was like, that doesn't tell me what you want. Here's your words. And he's like, I want to listen. What does he call it? Like, I want to listen to Call Maniac. That's what he calls it. The Call Maniac.
That's the title of his autobiography. Call Maniac.
I told you. Okay, I'll tell you what I remember. But if I told you the line from the book that I realized is what I want on my headstone, because I'll probably die before you.
I don't know that that's true, but go ahead.
Actually, that's true. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I can't remember it now.
You better text it to me so I'll have it. Why don't you tell me what you remember and maybe it'll come back to you.
Okay. I mean, I have like a vague. It's like floating around in there vaguely. Okay. I put Andy ? No, her name was Alex.
Sorry.
Dates her boss. Welder / dancer, stripper ? City ? Running in place, and maniac.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like more, but
yeah.
I did like the description of when I searched for it on Roku and the little description that came up. A Pittsburgh welder dances nights in a bar, dates her boss, and dreams of going to ballet school.
It's true. You know what would have probably made you like this movie better?
So many things.
If one of the two writers had been a woman instead of
fewer fucking plots, like fewer plot lines.
This movie is lean. Okay, you might get mad about the plot lines, but it's really just that she has a rich fabric of people in her life. Are you frozen or are you just poking?
No, I was trying to poke my eye out. Like,
it is a lean movie. Like every scene moves. The most they spend time on are the dance sequences, which are the best parts anyway. So that's
I was like, I actually Googled how much dialogue is there? Like, how many minutes of dialogue is there in Flashdance? I couldn't find an answer.
Yeah, but why are you mad about that? Film is a visual medium, and Adrian Lyne is a visual director and a sexy director. Would you like to know some of the other sexy movies
he said no to this movie 3 times?
Okay, well, I'm glad he finally said yes, because if he hadn't directed it, it would not be one of my favorite movies of all time. I can tell you that 100%. He did 9.5 Weeks, Fatal Attraction, Indecent Proposal, the Lolita remake, and Unfaithful, which is another one of the sexiest movies. Right?
There are highlights, right? That's fine. It just feels very disingenuous to me. Like it feels very forced.
Okay.
And I resent the message that as long as you never give up on your dream will come true.
I don't think that that's the message.
Oh my God, that is so the message.
No, that's not the message, because part of why she gave up was because her friend fell and her dream didn't come true, and then ended up doing the laziest strip dance I've ever seen. And Mr. Bodies.
Okay, so very like interesting connection. It reminds me of, because we're talking a movie with Jennifer Beals. Do you remember in the first season of the L Word when the girl loses her mind and like goes to a strip club and she's just like dragging her clothes like along, like that's what it was like. It was just like naked.
I hate my life, I'm depressed.
I mean, it's kind of like what my child does when he's naked and just like lays on the bed and like rolls around like, oh, she was like doing like naked happy baby.
And then, she was not happy. That girl was not.
Well, no, I know, but the yoga pose. Yeah, yes. No, she was not happy.
Then Shorty tried to go to LA and couldn't make it there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And then she psyched herself out. She got the audition and then blamed him for getting it for her. And then he said that terrible line about dreams that made me want to throw up.
Yes, when you give up on your dreams, you die.
It's a terrible line. But that's not the point of the movie. To me, the point of the movie is you have to shoot your shot. Because she was just going to give it all up without even trying. And to me, I like that they didn't say at the end whether or not she got in. She was just happy because she did it. And she screwed up a little, but she kept going. Like, to me, it's not about... To me, that's not what the movie is about. Now, it's a mixed message, and again, I think if a woman had been one of the writers, or if they make this, like, it could be...
Yeah, I mean, because, okay, she goes and does the application, but there's no way in hell she would have gotten the fucking audition if this man, this paternalistic man, hadn't stepped in and called in a favor.
Yeah, but that says more about the way that the repertoire works than it does about her or him or anything else.
Yeah. But then I don't know, but then when
that's like the whole system, it's like every system that she's in is made so that she can't really succeed at it. Like, she kind of does okay as a welder, but she's off on her own, right? Like, she's not hanging with the dudes. And then she kind of does what she's
not okay as a welder, because she was like welding and then like didn't even finish what she was welding when she's like, I'm going to open my letter now. Like, that was the most ADHD thing I've ever seen.
No, that was
fucking welding. When you get I got like 1 more inch to weld on this, but I think maybe now's the time I want to open that letter.
Well, I think that if you're going to talk about that, the fact that there was that red and blue lighting there for no reason is another problem with that scene. But
bro, like, what was it? Did she work in hell?
Tim,
like,
yes,
just like opening.
She worked in hell.
Like, does she work in hell?
Pittsburgh in the early 80s, bitch. She works in hell.
Oh my God.
Listen.
Okay.
When you get a letter and it's telling you whether or not something's happening, you don't always want to open it right away. You hang on to it. Now, some people are afraid. I mean, I don't know that I opened my college letters when the first.
The only letters that I've ever not opened are ones where I knew they wanted me to pay them.
Yeah, but you also don't like surprises, so you can't handle holding on to it. I know exactly that feeling. It's like it's the same thing when we used to before text when we would send emails. So like if I emailed somebody I liked and then they emailed me back, I wouldn't always read it right away because I didn't always want to know like if there was emotion involved, like sometimes I don't want to like I gotta wait
I do that
till
with
I'm in a headspace where I can, she had to go weld it out
while mid welding.
Turn her brain off, do the welding, get that blue and red light going. Had the right lighting.
Okay.
She was in the mood.
All right, going back to this conversation, right? Would it have been better if he was just rich than if he had also bootstrapped his way up to become the paternalistic fuck? Because to me, the fact that he was in the same place and came from the same neighborhood as her, and now he's this rich asshole.
Yes.
Is sending that same message, like, you can do it too.
I think the point.
And it never explains how he got there. Like, is it because he married a rich woman? Was that like hinted at?
No. He said she asked, "How'd you do it?" And he was like, "I just made it happen." Like when he was supposed to give his whole autobiography. Listen, in 50 Shades of Grey, when she's like, "How'd you become a billionaire?" Apparently, he goes, "Computer." So let's just get over it. Like movies in the 80s didn't have to make sense.
Yeah, all he has to go is, "I'm a white man."
It's not shameless. They're not going to give like the whole story of like, I mean, he was stealing hubcaps and then
but then okay, so here's my other point. Like the other little pieces that all make me take the message away as just don't give up on your dreams no matter what, and eventually you'll make it come true.
Continue. I say don't give up on your dreams, but not no matter what. That's the part I want to take off of your thing.
Because the advice or the one backstory she got from a not main character, the sage old hooker at the end, who was like, "Why don't you just go and slit your wrists and get done with it?" Like, okay, bitch. Like, but then she like tells this whole story about how she's like, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, and now I'm the 40-year-old at this not strip club. Like,
right.
To me, it's she gave up.
Yeah.
And Skater Girl fell on her ass and gave up and started doing like weird fluffing around stripping. Stripping at the strip club. Like,
I think the grumpy lady, the point there was you have a shot, take it. Like, yeah, you can give up on this, you can do whatever, but like, don't just sit on, like, time is going to pass, right? Time is going to pass you by. And I mean, you're totally floating over the fact that, like, her good mentor and old lady friend fucking died. Like,
I know. And by the way, who the fuck was that woman? like Ruth, she died yesterday. What?
I mean,
like, there's just so much going on in this movie, Heather. Like, so much.
Bad at it. Like, what do you want to have less happening? Like,
I don't know.
You wanted them to talk to each other more? Why?
Yes.
What were they to say? Why? What did they need to talk to each other more about? Do you remember how Little Baby and what's his name talk to each other in Dirty Dancing? Like, come on.
Yeah, and I had the same takeaway from that.
Okay.
I do want to see, what did I put? I want to see like a side by side of
Dead Boy restarted. Hold on.
What is that? The news about a dead boy? Where are you going? Hello?
I was turning off Netflix. It decided to show me the trailer for Dead Boy Detectives because I had it paused.
I would like to see a side by side of the dance in the Footloose factory.
Yes.
With her first dance on the stage. Like her first stage dance. I think that would be a nice. Also, which lobster scene is better, this Splash or Flashdance lobster restaurant scene?
I wrote, I didn't think anyone could make eating lobster look sexy, and Jennifer Beals did it. So kudos to her, because gross. Gross, gross, gross. Also, I would like to correct a couple of things that happened at the first talking at the strip club. Don't share people's social security numbers in public. Yeah, even if they work for you, you don't need to know anybody's social security number. That's not a thing.
Why does that man have her social security number memorized?
Wait, nobody needs to know anybody else's social
security. Creepy. Also, his reaction when he found out that half-naked woman works for him was not the appropriate reaction. It should have been like, oh, I'm gonna go. This is crossing a line.
I think no, it was like, I need to look.
It was like, I'm gonna lean in for more. Like,
yeah.
Jesus. It was so 1983.
I would like to correct the guy that owned Marlbury's, whatever it's called. The bar. Who told Richie that he couldn't make it in Hollywood because he was short. Hollywood is full of tiny, tiny short people. So that is absolutely not true.
There are many couldn't make it in Hollywood because he wasn't funny.
Yes, that was the main reason.
The fucking buffoon of a human being.
He sounds like a Muppet, and he makes Waka Waka jokes. So bad.
Like a human Fozzie the Bear. He even has the same goddamn hat.
Formative. The Loft, formative.
I can tell by your bunker.
Thank you. The clothes off the shoulder, formative. Although,
yes, does she have weak shoulders? Is it she just can't keep anything up?
You cut the thing too big. You cut the collar real big, and then it comes
but even like her tank top later was like,
yeah, no, like, the problem is I get too persnickety and it bothers me, and I have to like pull the shoulder back up. So like, I want to do the look. I really, really want to do that look, and then I can't give in to the fashion of it, and I'm just like, yank that shoulder back up.
I don't like the asymmetry of it.
I know. This feels like the opposite of 50 Shades of Grey to me. So yes, he is wealthy, and yes, he pursues her. But he acts like someone who has no idea what sex is at all, and she's teaching him, which I thought was really interesting. And she kind of sets the tone for the relationship. She's the one who manages, like, when they're actually going to start having a relationship. She kisses him first. She guides his hand where she wants his hand. Like,
it was like watching ducks try to each other.
The kissing was very bad. Yes, that was not sexy.
Pecking at each other.
Yeah, that was not sexy at all.
Jennifer Beals has, I don't know what it looks like now, an amazing ass.
Yeah, no joke. And the best smile.
Yes, she did. She loved it.
Her toes are way too pretty for ballet, so that's one problem she's going to have trying to get into a repertory company.
Also, someone get that girl a scrunchie. Like, how fucking welder helmet comes off, full head of hair just flying around, and you're all sweaty? No. Dancing and shaking sweat all over the goddamn place? Like, hey, no, you want to be a ballerina? Like, do you know what? So Elliot's in ballet, and like they sent me the rules, and it's not even in ballet. It's like so like free movement or creative movement or some bullshit. And they sent me the like dress code. And if you are a girl, bun, hair pulled back in a bun, and he's not even in actual ballet.
Yeah.
That being said, I do think I will say something nice about the movie. I think that they did a very good job, a great job of juxtaposing who she is, like the life she has, with the life she wants and dreams about.
Yeah.
Like visually and, like even her dancing, like nothing, like all of the dancing and choreography. I looked at the choreography, I was like, what the fuck is this choreography? Because they're just like throwing themselves. Like it's all so aggressive. Like, I mean, everything about her is so like the opposite of ballet.
Yes.
And so I do like that. I think that is very well done.
Did you know that IMDb IMDb puts choreography under additional crew. And I kind of get it from the perspective of not every movie has a choreographer, but every movie has an editor. But also, like, I feel like if it's a movie where there's multiple dance scenes, they really should try to feature the choreographer a little bit higher. I looked him up, Jeffrey Hornaday. He's worked with J-Lo, Madonna, Paul McCartney. He choreographed A Chorus Line, one of the sexiest dance movies ever. And he has been the creative director for performances in front of like Obama. So like he's still killing it.
You didn't even cite his most auspicious credit, Heather.
FLASHDANCE.
No.
What is it?
The Disney Channel's 2013 beach movie.
Calm down. He directed
that. It is the most viewed cable TV whatever ever.
It is?
And he won an award for it, yeah.
Oh, well, good for him. I guess I just don't care about
it. It has the kid from Riverdale in it.
Oh, does it? I was going to say, when she goes in the first time to get the application, that's where you get that nice juxtaposition and that visual story.
Yeah, it was like leading up to that, and then she goes into the actual, and then I was like, yeah. Like,
yeah. And then he does that close-up of the shoes where she's wearing the big boots and like all the other girls are in their ballet flats and all that good stuff. Are industrial elevators sexy, or am I just damaged by this movie?
I think there's general 80s because you see it in Mannequin and we see it in a lot of movies from the 80s.
I forgot she was Catholic.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, is a confessional booth, is that not an odd plot moving device?
It was weird because I felt like she had friends, so I'm like, do you have a priest?
Like, why do I was too afraid and I didn't want to disappoint the old lady. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Also, did all that really need to be said?
Well, that's, I think this might have been one of the first movies that introduced me to death of a person. So, like, I know we saw Bambi when we were really young, so that would have been death of a cartoon animal. And E.T., he and Elliot nearly die, so I got that there, but that was like an alien, and they didn't die.
The Electric Grandmother.
Yeah, but I know we saw the Electric Grandmother after I saw this. I would have seen this before. And hey, hearkening back to Fish Called Wanda, underpants on the head in the laundromat scene.
Hearkening back to Clue, Mr. Body.
I know. I called that out earlier, but that's okay.
Oh, you did?
Every time you and I work out, we work out in silhouette, right?
Oh my fucking God. I wrote Jesus Christ, the workout scene. What the fuck was that? It was like a goddamn like Clearasil commercial or
it was a
music commercial, yes. And like, I never realized that there was such a fine line between breakdancing and mimes. Like, is breakdancing just a modern form of mimery?
No, I think that breakdancing very quickly evolved, and whatever miming there was. Although, well, no, if you think about it,
umbrella, and he's like, "Oh, I'm walking with my umbrella." It's like miming and dancing and like street performing busking. Like,
yeah, it is actually. I was thinking it's not like, but then I think about. Like one of those choreographed moves that will always get me is like, if you think, I don't know, they probably did it in a whole bunch of those whatever dancing Julia Stiles, all those movies that came out with the Channing Tatum.
This does make me think of a lot of Save the Last Dance.
Yes, but that thing where they'll have like one person bent over kind of backwards and the other person has their hand on their chest and they'll like pull their hand back and the person will like bump up at them. Like, that's a mime move too. So I was like, well, I feel like breakdancing got away from the mime, but I'm now talking myself out of that when I think of that. And I'm like, there is still mime in it.
I think it's mime, but with more dancing.
Yeah.
But is that dancing? I don't know. Also, they didn't have anything better to do than sit there on the street and watch people breakdance for like 2 fucking hours or whatever.
No, they were in a major depression. The 80s, blah blah. So I know part of breakdancing in New York in the 80s, a lot of it had to do with people being unemployed, but also it was so hot that they didn't want to be in the apartments because it was less hot to be on the street. So a lot of people spent time on the street, and a lot of that.
I feel like it would be less hot to be on the street being still.
Also,
than like jumping around all over the place.
It was the winter and everybody was bundled up, including that little kid that was completely bundled up and looked so bored. Just staring at the breakdancing, like.
Well, it was like somebody really just wanted to be like, I love breakdancing, so we're gonna have a breakdancing.
Well, no, they had to like show that she had this affection for movement, right? Because then she does the whole playful thing with the police officer, which I love.
That was a cool scene. That was a funny scene. I like that a lot.
And the idea of her like finding, you were like, is this dancing? Like, to me, yeah. If it's movement,
it's movement, expressive movement.
Yes, and it's dancing. Jeannie's dad is an asshole.
When he starts tearing up later when she's dancing.
I know. He's
still an asshole, but yeah.
And then I was like, oh, Nick's a stalker. He's following her home. Not cool.
I was like, what? Nick owns his own bar. Why is he at this other bar? Like, you have your own bar. Like, what are you doing?
No, not that's
Oh no! Oh yeah, Johnny. Sorry, I was talking about Johnny.
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, Johnny spends way too much time at the other bar. It's like he's trying to steal their best dancers or whatever.
I guess.
Did not.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal their best dancers to come roll around on the floor. Like, and have dollar bills stuck to their sweaty asses. Like,
that's sweet.
That moment, like the scene, I'm sure you were trying to go somewhere, but like, whatever. Like, that scene when we went to the full nude titty bar, that's when I was like, why did that was the they let you watch this moment of the movie. Like, the rest of it, okay, fine. Like,
but it wasn't full nude. It was exactly what we saw in Beverly Hills Cop, which we also
same. And also, why did they let you watch this movie moment, right?
Have you ever actually been to like a strip club that's made for men?
No, I have not.
I have been, and let me tell you the thing that freaks me out about it the very, very most.
All you can eat buffets.
That's disgusting. Yes, that still doesn't freak me out. I watched two dudes who were like in business suits, so clearly like either work together, trying to work together, whatever. And they were both getting lap dances, and they were seated where they were maybe like a foot apart from each other. They were carrying on a conversation while women were gyrating on them.
I know, it's just fucking disgusting. Like, as watching
that weren't happening, and I'm like, what is the point?
It's a power. It's like fucking. It's a fucking power move. Like, how is this? Like, vaginas don't look that. Like, how can looking at different titties and vaginas really be that? Like, at a certain point, when you just be desensitized to it, like, I don't understand it.
Well, clearly you would be if you're talking to your buddy while it's happening. I'm like, just go to the sports bar. Like
watch it. I was like, straight men are so fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And like, so the one strip club I have been to was La Bear.
Yeah. Before Magic Mike came out, so who knows what it's like now.
Yeah. Which was, men, so it was geared toward heterosexual women.
It was also depressing.
It was like, yeah, I remember that one guy was a really good dancer. But yeah, like, it was just not. Yeah. And I mean, this was back when I liked, sex with men.
I just remember like the ladies that were like sitting at the bar playing the poker machines, and I'm like,
why are you here?
There's so many cheaper places to go. Like, what are you doing?
I know.
And then like the ladies getting the lap dances. I'm like, this is just so sad. Like, I don't enjoy this at all.
Remember when y'all made me go up there and try to give that guy money, and he made me touch him, and I like looked away, like, oh my god, no, I know. Oh, I'm such a purd.
You sure you like sex? Did you ever?
That was before I had sex, so.
Oh, okay.
That was before I'd ever touched, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer.
I do
Arrested Development.
That's right. I do like that after Richie got his nose busted, he was busting chops with Nick when he was like, we used to do this or whatever. And he was like, in the 50s. Like,
yeah.
So old.
yeah. Like, he finally got a couple one.
I liked that Alex wore a lot of pops of red. That was kind of her signature color. I love that a lot. They tailored the shit out of that sport coat that Nick was wearing because that thing was like busting. I've never noticed that before, but I was like, if he bends over too far, that sport coat is going to burst open. Like it is a whole lot. I feel like definitely this movie informed my ideas of romance in a very bad way. She hits him hot.
Love montage vomit.
She threw a rock through his window. Vandalizing is not cool, even if you think he's cheating on you. Like way too much. Nope, 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 nope. I loved the lunch lady though. She was great.
The owner of the lunch truck.
I apologize. Yes, the owner of
I did like all of the people who were like very much entertained by their whole exchange. Like, oh,
yeah, which again, like, no, these are not real welders. This is silly.
No.
I would like to know why the original score for this movie sounds like a really slow, sad carousel song. I don't know if you remember it, but it was just like, oh God.
Okay. Can I so the dance scene that's the very high concept one where
she has the like white China doll face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ends fully clothed.
Yes.
Do you recall the way the owner of the bar, like his face watching yes. that? That's my face watching this whole movie. Like his reaction to that whole dance scene was like my reaction to this whole movie.
Well, you know what?
Like, he's looking at that other dancer who's like all into it. Like that's me looking at you like, how the fuck is this your favorite? One of your favorite? I think
you should just say, you know what? Other people are enjoying this. I may not get it. I may not agree, but other people are enjoying this. I'm just going to let them have their fun.
Also, there's no way that all those men were clapping when she was done and she still had a t-shirt and a pair of pants on.
That's true.
No.
But do you know what I was clapping at?
What?
The badass red military coat that she was wearing at the very end when she hugs him and then there's a freeze frame. That was an awesome
coat. We skipped all the way to the end?
I mean, what else do you want to talk about?
So she like goes to the ballet with the old lady. She's like, does the lead dancer always get flat? Is this your first time going to the ballet and you want to go to ballet school? Like, I don't understand. When he made the phone call, like I was like, I wrote, oh fuck your meddling paternalistic bullshit.
But it's not cool that he meddled. It is cool that he recognized that there was probably no way she was going to get an audition and he could make that happen for her, and he did. I also like that he was so excited about it. He couldn't even go to the office. He like drove to the nearest diner and went in and used a payphone because like he didn't have a cell phone.
Oh, yeah, he's so excited with his like, oh, I can do this thing. I can make this happen. I'm going to go. And then while I'm there, I'm going to order a coffee. I'll be like, coffee. Oh, like, you're like ordering coffee while you're on the fucking phone at a diner. Is there a line?
Do you not? You've never.
Did someone ask you what you want? Did the owner of the diner mime to you and go, do you want something?
Listen.
And you're like,
he's very busy. He owns a construction company or something. Wow. The taking off of the jacket in the restaurant to reveal the front and then the cuff. I mean, that outfit was I forgot about that, but that was very, and using that as like a way to one up the ex-wife, like the cold bitch ex-wife, like so good.
I wrote that costume is amazing, but I don't remember what one I was talking about. Oh, her Halloween costume. where she was like
she was a clown.
Yeah, like the jacket she had, like that was awesome.
Yeah.
Which then made me go to what I know you love about this movie is the fact that she doesn't like, there's nothing, she's feminine, but she's not girly, I guess.
Yeah. She plays the gender very seriously.
Yeah.
She won't give him the time of day. I love that.
Oh, I don't understand when they're slapping each other or when she's slapping him.
Yeah.
And that the window shade rolls up. I don't know how they didn't just start laughing. That scene was so stupid.
Well, I mean, to me, it speaks a lot to her emotional immaturity, right? Like,
yes,
she's a very physical person, and she doesn't know what to do with her emotions. And
yeah, you're not old enough to smoke. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? It's 1983. Like, you could smoke when you were 16. Like, legally, you could probably smoke when you were 12.
You're so
also
bad.
Suddenly she smokes, and then she's smoking. She
looks so stupid smoking. She really shouldn't have ever. It looked terrible. Like, she can make everything else look sexy, and then a thing that is naturally a sexy behavior, smoking, does not look sexy when she does it. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Took 4 different people to make it happen. And most of them went uncredited. I did see where the lead choreographer guy was quoted as saying, like, the dog was credited and the main dance body double was not.
Yeah.
But she was French, so who cares? Whatever.
I think anyone who cares enough about this movie has done an appropriate amount of research to figure out, like, who really,
or has watched the final scene.
Yes.
To go, that's not Jennifer Beals.
That's a big wig. That's
like, is that why she has her hair down in the whole movie? So you can't see her face?
I think having her hair down is kind of like also another kind of like, she isn't a ballet dancer. Like, she's kind of wild and uncontrolled, you know? She doesn't, like, it's a choice. She's just throwing herself around, ladies and gentlemen. You have no idea because it's not making any noise.
I'm glad it's not making any noise. Yes. So should they have let us watch this, or should they have waited until we were older?
No, I'm so glad I got to watch this when I was young. Again, to me, it's formative in the right ways, right? Like, it teaches me that dudes can try to physically control you, and that's a real danger in life. Like, she barely got away. And also, you're not mad that he stepped in and stopped that guy from taking her, but you're mad that he got her a chance to audition for the repertoire. Like, why is one okay and the other isn't?
So one's fucking life-threatening and one isn't. Come on,
Heather. It's life-threatening. Like, you don't know that it was life-threatening. Like, maybe he was just trying to push her and see how far she would go. Why are you mad at me? I'm just saying. They're both paternalistic.
You're right. In both instances, he should have been like, he should have gotten consent. Like, is it okay if I punch this guy in the face so he'll stop trying to shove you in his car and probably rape you?
That would have been better.
Okay, cool. Got it. Boom. Is it okay? Hey, I know a guy. Do you want me to call in this favor for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been better. And in both cases, she would have been an idiot and said no.
True.
Way too much stalking. He's following her around way too much. I don't like it. But, that's what romance was in the 80s.
Also, what's the motivation? Like, is the motivation for him stepping in the fight to protect her? Because, I mean, like, what's the motivation for him calling in the favor? Is it about her or is it about him?
I think it's about her. Knowing that, Brian, in what universe did she realistically... I mean, they could have easily said, we have, you know what? It's for the 50th anniversary. We're having a lottery this year. Anybody can come audition, right? They could have done something like that, and he wouldn't have had to intervene at all. And had he intervened there, yes, then he would have been a total dick. But there's no fucking way. It's not.
Well, I guess it couldn't have been for her since he didn't mean to tell her, but.
It was for her.
No, yeah. Like, if it was for him, then he would have been like, yeah, I got you that interview.
Yeah. You're so mad.
I fucking hate everyone. I hate men.
It taught me that living in a loft apartment is cool. It taught me that having girlfriends that you can exercise in silhouette with is awesome. It taught me to really try to go after my dreams. I did go to LA, right? Like
you
maybe
did.
if I hadn't watched FLASHDANCE, number one, I probably wouldn't like movies as much.
I feel like my problem is I never had a dream.
Right. Like, you're just mad at this movie because you're like, I don't want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this.
Like, I don't want to do this. This is hard. I don't want to do this anymore.
I wonder people who don't have dreams at all, if they watch this, like they just get it on like the sexy level, like to make it. They don't care about any of the stuff about making your dreams come true. They're like, I don't know, I want to be a school teacher, or whatever. Like,
that's not anybody's dream. No one's dream is to be a school teacher.
That could be their plan.
They could be their plan. It is not a dream because you know what? It's not hard to do. I'm not saying it's not a hard job. I'm saying becoming a school teacher is not hard to do.
Like, yes. Unless you have learning disabilities and or there's no way you can afford college. And
well, okay, fine. Yes. Whatever.
You're so bad. You know what? You're going to be more bad next week because you know what we're
not watching Poltergeist.
We're watching The Breakfast Club.
Oh, that's fine. I had my own version of The Breakfast Club last weekend. That was another way I wasted time. I had to go do fucking Saturday school for lazy ass kids.
But you got paid.
I did get paid, so that's good.
It's not really a waste of time.
Yes.
Was it a real Breakfast Club experience? Let us know next week. She's shaking her head. Y'all,
like, I was like, can I go get a drink of water? And I was like, yeah.
I mean, you're in control of their whole body and life while you're there, right? I mean, I'm just saying. That's what school's about.
Have you seen the guy? He's an actor, but he wears like the blue sweater and he's got the glasses and he makes the videos where he like looks at clips of other things of people doing crazy shit.
No.
Like on construction sites or restaurants or at a gym or something. Yeah, never mind.
The algorithm has not shown me this.
No. Okay, whatever. Put that up. Basically, he just like acts like he's there and then he like sees somebody do it and he's like, oh, okay. Like that's how I feel looking around the hallways at our school sometimes.
Oh, you feel like you're just having reaction shots all day.
Yeah, where I'm just like, okay. Oh. Okay. Like, and then it's just, God.
Rolling your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I went back to high school and spied on me, I would be rolling my eyes the whole time. Like, oh my God.
Would not even pay me. That's no way.
What are you doing? Why are you crying over that boy so much? Stop. Answer. FLASHDANCE informed the way that I think about romance. Anyway.
All this week. Prom. Miss Dana's prom. I'm like, I love that for you. And that's all I have to say about prom.
Yeah.
I love that for you. Have fun.
Y'all, it's been great. That's it for this episode of I Love You, But join us next week. We're going to talk about The Breakfast Club and all its problematic bullshit.
Why am I going to be mad at you for making me watch The Breakfast Club?
Because you're going to be mad at it. Just like you're mad at this. It'll be okay. You'll get over it.
Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. What made you laugh? What made you cringe? What did we forget? What should we talk about in future episodes? We want to know your thoughts, so find us on Instagram and Threads at I Love You But Pod, or email us at iloveyoubutpod@gmail.com. Still waiting for that first listener email. We're so excited. Listener email and comments may turn up in future episodes. Be sure to rate, review, and follow I Love You But wherever you get your podcasts. It helps with numbers, and numbers keep us motivated to keep doing this shit. Thank you for listening.
Take our passion and make it happen.
Taking our passion for podcast. You know, when I was 5 dancing around to FLASHDANCE, I really was like, I'm going to be a podcaster.
I don't even know what a podcast is because it's the 80s. But
I do remember recording tapes of myself younger and giving them to people as presents. So I guess I kind of was a podcast.
You did not. Who did? No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
What people?
Well, I know for sure I recorded Christmas songs and like singing Christmas songs and gave those to family as presents. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, girl. You're not the only one. She's making face. I And then I remember interviewing myself, like Jimmy does in the Commitments. I definitely had a whole lot of like interviews of myself.
You knew you were going to be famous.
I'm so famous.
Famous.
I'm not even Denton famous.
I'm greatness.
I'm not famous, but I am Heather.
I'm Rian. And we wish you lots and lots of conditional love.